keep them split. Since the other side's open, we can get the heat shrink from the other end, no problem. Okay, so here we go. We're gonna bring them up like this, and then we're just gonna tint it. You ready? See, this takes half an inch already, so you really have an inch and a half of extra slack, really. Okay, so we're gonna go and twist them. See how they're all kind of intertwined, sort of, in their weird way. All right. Our solder should be pretty damn hot right now. It's been left on. Okay, this looks pretty damn good. The solder just reinforces the bond between the two, but they're pretty much bonded already by mechanics, by physical twisting it. But we just want to make sure they don't fall. Oh, look, there's one little strand here. You can see every strand. That's fine. We'll twist it back in there. And if it came from the opposite direction, it would even be better. Alright, so there we go. Good one right there. Get them out of the way from all the other guys. So bring our solder. Be careful holding this guy loosely. You can start from top or bottom, whichever. Heat will be attracted no matter where you're at. So you can see here I'm starting from the top to solder, but I'm solder's on the bottom, and the heat is applied on the top. Apply a little bit this guy here. Tilt him a little bit. Give him a nice tint coat. It's gonna get really hot. There we go. Kind of give it a nice smooth coat. You don't want to glop a solder or anything like that. So what I'm going to work with all this solder here. It's the only solder I'm going to work with. And the leads are pretty soft. Just want to grab hold of it. Sort of wick it where you need it to be. There we go. See that? Still a glop of solder, so there's plenty of solder on here. It's just got to melt inside into the threads. So keep applying heat. You want the solder to suck itself through the other end that doesn't have solder. Just hold in there, hold in place. See, this is still a cold solder here. Get solder all around. Hands are getting hot. Her fingers getting hot. Clean the solder a little bit, maybe that'll help. There we go, I'll kind of clean them up a little bit. Kind of sort of like painting it a little bit. almost there. Give him an even coat. You don't want to do too long because you'll burn the wires. So you got to almost pace yourself too. You just want that solder to being into all those threads. Okay, let's see here. I'm gonna go ahead and try to see if I can add a little bit more solder to this side where it's not too many yet. Okay. There we go. It's nice coated with solder, but it's still somewhat of a cold solder. So you really want to make sure it gets heated like that. Make sure the solder is really into the threads and not just on the surface. Oh, this is hot. I can feel it from the other end. Okay, we're almost there. All right, there we go. Good deal. This is a little longer because my soldering tip, it's not the hottest, but you can see here. So this guy's joined it in there. So we'll go and put his heat shrink through him now. Even if the other side wasn't open, you could have done it this way. Which way I should have thought of that. That's that confusing, you guys. All right, there we go. Yeah, I would love to use that text flex as APM showed there. That seems pretty awesome stuff. It's always a challenge, you know, trying to move things around. Look at that, even got aesthetically upright the way I wanted to. God, I'm just having good luck today here. Because I guess it's preparing me for the worst. Alright, here we go. I'll move this one because I know it's going to get hot in my hand, gets to the flame. Not bad. Alright, there we go. Not bad at all. You can see here, it's really only giving it about an inch after you got your heat shrink here, how it yanks like this way. So it's not like it's adding a lot more to it. So that 1.5 inches is becoming more and more like almost a half an inch almost. So this one's going into our second slot here. And I don't even know if it's going to make it after all this said and done. Barely made it. Barely made it. So we got to be really careful for the next one. Next one we're going to have to do a little bit more better. Okay, this guy go underneath this guy. So next one we'll prepare it now because we have to actually give it a little bit more because the brown one's not going to have this much more snack. So that's good to know. We'll have to cut that yellow one. We'll have to recut him for the yellow one. So it's going to open him up. Okay. He's open. He's ready to receive the male connector. Can't see where I'm poking, but assuming that most of it's going in. But if they don't feel like they're going in, kind of back this guy out a little bit more. There we go. Now it's going in. Then also want to make sure it's not crisscrossing any other wires. I think it looks pretty fair. Okay, let's go ahead and drive that in. I'm putting some pressure on the back plate too while I'm doing this. There we go. Just driven in as much as I can. So that one's there, it's pretty damn secure now. Okay, so got a feeling our ground might break on us too, so if that happens, we'll fix that one as well as it comes. So I'm not sure we were able to free up more. We just use the same slack, but going in a little bit more wider or kind of more downer. But I think we might have did it. We'll see. Okay, so we're gonna take this guy here and we're gonna smash it. We're gonna use that same trick we did with the other one. Let's go ahead and get some lubricant. Oh, let's go ahead and get this guy's off the pad. Put some little silicone on him. In fact, we could probably just dip the silicone in here, really. Be less mess, huh? There we go. There's one silicone in there. And this one has a little silicone in there, so they both have silicone. Silicone grease. Electric, oh, not silicone, I apologize, dielectric grease. I've been saying one thing and thinking about another thing. So I don't want to get you guys thinking, oh, I'm just going to put silicone in there. No, that'll actually create a little bit more stickier situation than you want. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to feed him all the way, but before we do that, let's give him a full black heat shrink as well, just in case it becomes really ugly that we're used to. We can see the effect of that. I'm hoping we did extend it. I mean, it seems like it's still a close call. If it's really extended or not, it might be the heat shrink causing the inch of loss. But the heat shrink we can always rip a little bit, you know? So it's not a big deal there. And this wire looks just as thick as the other wire too. So for once, they're both looking pretty darn thick. Okay, we're gonna try this route here. Put that in there first. Kind of give it a twist, sort of. Not twisting the wire, but just twisting it to make sure it goes in. I'm not sure this one's easier this way, or it's more stickier, because now we can't see all the wires coming in or not. Yeah, I think all the wires are not coming in, but that's fair. But it's slipping in pretty neatly. Okay, so let's go ahead and move this guy back. Or can you go back in there as much as possible? Yeah, you should be able to. There we go. There we go. Alright, so now it's time to meet up with this guy. There we go, we're good. Smashed them together. Yeah, this way is a little bit more messier actually. But now we know. I think the electric grease did prevent it from burning too easily too, so it might be a good thing to have the electric grease. Not for just lubricating, but for making sure it doesn't get burned. I'm going to try to get most of his thread back in there. It's like a teeter-tot game, because the more I give him thread in there, on the other side he wants to come loose. That right there. So it's like a really bad teeter-tot game. Alright, let's do this again. Kind of mush it a little bit together. Try to create a little bit form. I'd be surprised if I actually got all the thread in there. Somewhat. Alright, so we gotta meet them both in the middle. They need to exchange the same amount of thread coming together. Look at that one. He's so much near everything else. I'm so a little scared now. But I still have to flame him. There he is. Alright, there we go. Shall we fire it up? Oh man, I had dielectric grease all over me. I almost feel like it's gonna come right into my fingertips. So let me go ahead and put some. Let me wipe it off my fingers. At least I could be partial safe, right? Here I am holding a lighter with just a whole bunch of grease on it. Yeah, this lighter's been our best friend. All right. Probably take some really skilled talent just to get the torch, micro torch, and just aim exactly at that right there. You're probably safe bet would to get a super heat gun. All right, so here we go. We gotta get everything else that's not related out of the way, because this guy is going for it. Ooh, it's turning black. Is that what we want? He's not. Oh, this guy's charring faster than the actual. This guy's charring faster than the wedge. Look at that one. I think that dielectric grease is what's causing the char a little bit. But there's no way around it, because we got to burn that bead of that. All right, there we go. I know it's pretty ugly, totally ugly, but I'm not gonna pull it apart yet. I'm holding it on for the sake of it, so I can clean up a little bit. It's kind of cooled a little bit now. There we go. Look at that. You can clean it and see it still. So it's just that dielectric grease is, but that's why we got a second insulator, just to make sure the first one fails, like this right here, miserably. We have our second backup. This one's almost charring too. We don't want to mess with this guy. He has no problem. He's supposed to stay in there. Alright, so there we go. Good connection here. We can give it a tug test. Not going anywhere. Should say tug test. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and wipe off the dielectric grease on the surface. It is flammable, but it's not too bad. Alright. There we go. We're going to heat shrink this guy here. I think we're gonna have to give them all that we got, sort of. You know, we bring them down a little bit more. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and see if I can do it right. Just gonna heat shrink this guy here. Look at that, he wants to pull off almost. Yellow with yellow. Yeah, I wanna make sure they're still staying. Alright, so there we go. Gonna give it a roast. There we go. Done. Don't have to go crazy. There we go. Sealed our fate. That was it. Nice. That was good. He was almost looked like he's coming off, so we might have to force him back on soon. Wait, are we in the right direction? Are we? Oh boy, did I connect it to the wrong one? Oh no, the brown one. The brown one is supposed to be our fourth one here. This is the one that we need to stretch out more, so we're in the right track. I'm like, oh, did I connect it to the wrong one? Okay, so the brown one we got to open up. Gotta make this happen for the brown one as well. So the brown one, we're gonna definitely give it a little bit more, because we can see what it did a little bit to our semi green one here. It just pretty much took all the 1.5 inches and probably gave it 1/2 inch afterwards. So it didn't do us any good. So we're gonna make sure we cut a little bit more slack for the brown one. So we want to make sure the brown one is not holding anything else up. So we're gonna go ahead and cut the brown one about 3 inches. And then we're going to work him accordingly. Okay. Plenty, give him 1/2 inch at least. Okay, and then let's go and cut him out here. Since he's not going to barely make it over there, we don't want to give him too much more strain. So let's go and cut him accordingly. There we go. But this one here, we can give a little bit more cleaner cut farther. Okay, let's go and work on this guy first. I really don't want to give 1/2 inch because he barely can make it over there. So, but I have to give what I have to give. Because if you look at him, even with the amount, he's bare. I mean, he's gonna have to wrap around from behind, which is fine. That's probably the only way, really. But this is the one that's gonna determine to continue on his legacy here. So let's go ahead and do this. Give him a split ponytail. You can see he's a little shorter than the other one. We'll split this ponytail as well. And no worry, we'll put the heat shrink afterwards. Normally we go upside down, but in this situation, we just grab what we can, huh? There we go. Now, even though he has enough slack to actually give to the other side much, so we'll have to make sure we cut the heat shrink a little bit as well. Okay, so let's go ahead and tint him as well. Keyword, solder tint him. He's our last tinting job, I believe. That will be the last of our extension here. Tint the solder, make sure. The wire heated first. It's a thick wire and thicker solder, so it's going to take some time. And you also have a weaker soldering tool that doesn't heat up to hotter temperature. So all those factors plays in making things difficult. There we go. Whoa, this whole piece of solder just... Here we go, let me carry it over. Don't want that in there like that. We did give a good coat on them, but they're cold solder still. So we can actually really heat them up. Ooh. Look at that, splatting on our... It's cool already by the time it hits these guys, but don't want to scratch our carbon fiber. Alright, so there's it. That was the last bit of soldering that we're gonna do with these guys, and I don't know if we can even put heat shrink to get him over there safely. You can see here I could barely even walk him without any heat shrink, but I think we can manage to give him a little bit of heat shrink just to cover him a little bit, you know, give him a little cover up. So we're going to use this guy, and then we're going to need another one for his body. The longer one can be for his body still. So there we go. Don't even have a pair of scissors, really. Let's go and use this cutter here. It's going to not be the greatest cutter, but it will still cut. so we'll get this body ready. So you can see here I cut his a little bit shorter than the rest, just because he needs that breathe room. Okay, let's get ready to put him in here. Let's get some fire to his tail. Heat shrink kind of works as a little bit of reinforcement. There we go. One of these days I'm getting in trouble playing with this kind of fire. Alright, smells like burned rubber. I want to go forward a little bit. Not sure it's too late. That's fine. It just helps to hold the wires together, really. It didn't really get the insulator part, but it helps hold the wires together. That's the main purpose of the heat shrink. Just to help give these guys a little binding force so they're not pulled apart easily. Alright, let's go from behind. And let's grab them here. Now everything's going to come in play. We can't move this forward anymore because these wires are being tugged out of their harness. So it's a catch-22. We made more wires for it. The downside is these wires better do the trick because they're not getting any more wires to be able to tug in. So let's go ahead and start screwing these guys in as well. This is the last one. I'm going to re-screw the other one too just to make sure I get more in there. There we go. Nope, very clunky, so I still gotta see what's the holdup. Maybe I could back these out much more. There we go. Now it feels like it's one that goes in. I want to hear that clicking noise, kind of nice. Okay, now it's getting ready to screw them in. Hold the back plate while I'm doing it. There we go. This guy here, I don't feel too confident with him. He's just like coming down already. So let me go and unscrew him. See if I can jam him in a little bit more deeper. Whatever I need to do. No, I don't need you to fall. I need you to stay with me. It's amazing how these guys all connect. And you're just so happy when they're all connected and sealed off, right? You're like, I ain't touching you no more. There we go. Oh. I'm pinning it forward. I think he'll still be okay. Alright, so let's go ahead. While he's wedged up there, I'm going to see whatever else I can get him in. So we'll start tightening him up. It's kind of loose now. There we go. Alright, I think we're good now for all of our guys. Oh, yes. Okay, so we got those extension going on. I think it's coming. Wow, now we're in 20-minute recording already. Alright. And we're going to swing this over. Let's see how we're going to do this. This, for some reason, came through this loop. But we're going to try to back it out in here. So he's clean away. We're going to try to untangle these guys same time. Because our goal always to improve on something that we started. Okay, so here we go. Now it seems like we can't really bring this guy any more than he can. because of the limitation, but I just don't want to take any chances. So let me okay, this is the wire here that we need to get through because this is going to the left. Okay, so let me unwind this guy here. Okay, this is the left signal wire. Let me pull him directly and see if he's not cross-threading anything or just intertwining something that we shouldn't. Okay, so he's fine now. This brown wire should come before this wire here. I think all set. Now you can see here this brown wire is got, it's gonna be plenty of slack for the yellow wire. So mostly, like, if we really want to clean it, we might need to even get rid of some of the yellow wire, but that would defeat the whole purpose of stretching this in the first place, right? So I know we need to extend it, but at the same time I'm thinking, man, either I do give this guy all the benefit of the doubt here now, or not give him anything. So let's see here if he's extended it. I think I can extend him right here. So that means I have to chop off an inch from him if I really want to keep the wires synchronizedly clean. And I think we still have a chance to get everything working though. I think. Key word is I think. But it's definitely putting pressure on these harness here, so these guys need to really do their job and stay hooked, or else we're going to be in trouble. Okay, so, but they're all tugging at the same time. It gives equal pressure, which is better for the wires anyway. So let's see if I was to tug this guy here. The most I can tug him is to be right here, so I have to cut it. I have to cut it. So we're going to join the two wires here. So that means I have to cut it right here. Split these off, marry these two together right there. Sorry. So we'll have to cut this guy right here. So we're going to cut about an inch away from him. So we're trying to give him his full 2 inches, which will work, I guess. So let's do that. So all that was taken away back about an inch, a little bit over than an inch. Okay, let's go and prepare to marry these guys. We'll give them about maybe 2 centimeters really, because there's not really much of the bead there. There we go. That one's ripped. And this one's ripped. Alright, let's go and apply our silicone. We'll do it the old-fashioned way again with these ones, the last one. Ah! Look at this. It really wants to break on me. And that's much better, actually. I can't believe this has moved around that much. Okay, so don't move around no more. This is it. What I'm going to do is just going to put a little bit on my fingertip. It was too messy to do it the other way. I think there's enough right here. Just a little slab. And then just kind of quickly just touch these wires here. And then touch the other end. Put some a little bit on the rubber insulator, the plastic insulator. Because that's where it needs to lubricate to go looping around. And we can go ahead and put this insulator in there now. Okay, and then we can, oh, I got a big blue one. Try and get the red one. We don't need the big blue one yet. We haven't had a call for that one. I always give the smaller side to our stock wire, and then the big yellow one gets the bigger round one, just to make sure. Okay, freshly cut. There we go. Now before we decide to harness this, we need to put it from the background. I think it's coming from the back. Okay, let's mush these together, sort of. See me mush them from the background. We could have mushed them in here, actually, be better. There we go. See, that was easy. Okay, let's meet that little bead in the middle for both to marry. Alright, so this one's really close to all the wires, so it's going to so be hard to get to with the flame. but we can still do it. It's just going to be a lot more trickier and a little bit more severe. We didn't mess up, so let me try to pluck this guy out of the way. Okay, and we definitely want it in a little level plane, like right there, something like this. And we don't want it to tug, because the minute it tugs, pulls apart like that very easily, because it slips easily. So okay, there we go. I think this is it. We could probably flame it from right there. Okay, try to catch the bead, really. There's the flame. See, it's warping. Focus on trying to get the bead to build first. There we go. Solder's melting the two. Let's get the water sealed in. This guy too. And we're good. I think we are good. I haven't stretched it yet, so I don't want to. It's still hot. Because last time we did that. And we can clean it up later. Let me go and twist the other way and try hit the bead from the other side. It's like a earthworm. Okay, there we go. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna try hit the bead now from the other side, the one that hasn't got any flame to it. There we go. I know that's very ugly. Hideously ugly. There we go. Unless we're aiming for like a toasty look. But yeah. Look at that. What is that in there? That's why we put the second insulator, just in case. Yeah, that's just the rubber. But there you go. There's all our connections. Now before we put this is just temporary, before we actually put the whole panel for a secure hole, because we have to put the panel one more time after this anyway to see where the bolt holes are. So we're gonna have to run to the auto part, to the hardware store, auto parts store, whichever, and then probably the hardware store. I think most of these stuffs are probably in hardware. Okay. Okay, let's go and heat shrink this. Just do it really fastly. Don't want to be in one area doing it. There we go. Nice cool weather to help. There we go. Not bad. Sometimes you just get good at the flame work. Not bad. See, all nice and done. All supposedly extended. I'm going to see if our extension actually did the trick or not. So we'll find out. In the meantime, I got confidence we can start maybe tie strapping this guy down. There's no other reason why he shouldn't be tie strapped down. So we're going to go and swing him over. And we're going to start placing proper pressure where it needs to be accounted for, so that way this thing doesn't move anymore or it doesn't tug anymore. So we're going to go and put our tie strap in place. Just a second here. Okay, so we're going to go and put our tie strap. There's another barrier here. Try to get that one out of the way. Okay, we're going to start wrapping it. Going to wrap it around like this, and then we're going to figure out our motive here. How we're gonna, so once this is just flushed here, right, there's no more going back. There it goes. It's gonna be tied down like that. All the wires, or wherever they are, they're gonna compress like this. So we gotta take account for that. So you can see here the brown wire still has extra slack even though we cut an inch away from it, which is expected. And this guy here, hopefully he makes it to the tail end. He might barely make it. Maybe we twist his ground wire a little bit here like this. He'll probably be good to go. Alright. So we go ahead and prepare to tie strap it. We want to make sure all our wires look good. There's not going to be any pressure that may cause them to come loose off. Oh, sorry. Focus on this guy here. Okay, so let's go and bring our tie strap. Probably use a thin one. Okay, let's go and take this off the heat. We're done soldering, that's it. It's not too bad. I mean, we did a pretty good job extending it. I'm just still kind of skeptical about this guy. You know what, instead of being skeptical, why don't I just put it on there and see, okay? That way we can rest assured before we try to do everything else. But before I put it on, I was hoping to get this right bolt on there at the same time. But I just want to see. I just want to see how far we are really on the wiring. So let's do it. I'll leave this bolt on for a second. Okay, let me go and get this guy back on, and let's see if our wiring harness will fit our cover there. Because that's the whole main idea of us having to resolder. Hopefully we didn't do wrong. I didn't want to go overboard and do too much as far as too much slack, because I do like the tension, but I just didn't like it to be too short either. So close call here. Around. Pull this guy in. And this time we'll actually put the beads on this guy now. Well, you probably don't have to, because they probably will fall anyway, because we're not careful. So let's just go ahead and try and lock them in. Get this guy out of the way. Guys are going for their nose dive, which is good. Before they go for the nose dive, these guys need to get over and do its thing. So we're going to come back from here. There we go. It's all closed up. We don't really have to worry about sealing it, but we can do the test here of putting all these bulbs together and see if they actually stretched out. So here we go. The farthest left one we know shouldn't have a problem. So let's go ahead and get this guy here. Let's go and make sure he doesn't get twined. We're doing it like we're doing it permanently, okay? Okay, so we can go from over here on this plate, I guess. Let's make sure he's not cross. There we go. He's the farthest left blinker. Let's put him in. All right, let me go and get my other hand free. You'll see it come in. I can see it sort of with the reflector here, but I still have to figure out which one's a big hole and which one's a small hole in the second here. Sorry. This might be... Nope. Alright. Okay, here we go. I see the bigger one here. It's kind of hard to tell. But there we go. That's the bigger one. I can see it from here. Okay, there it goes, fitting in. I think we counterclockwise twist it to lock it in or somewhat. But we don't have to worry about locking it in right now. Let's just go ahead and put him in there. So he's protruding all the way out. Okay, let's... Yeah, let's go ahead and see this guy right here. They're flushed here already, so they're hitting the plate, so they're not going anymore. Okay, so now we got our tail light here. Very greasy from our dielectric move there, but that's the way it go. Now let's see if our tail light's gonna give us any problem. Wow, you know what? Look, our tail light, it does feel like it has a little more slack. If you look at it, look, I can almost bend it to the side a little bit. So we did good. We did good on our tail light. Now he hasn't been pushed back yet, so we'll find out in a little bit. I mean, pushed back as far as the terminal, all the connection terminal, they haven't been strapped. But I think with being strapped back would actually give us more slack. So let me go ahead and find his big, huge indent here. There he is. All right, we're not going to worry about twisting him, but you can see how much slack he has. A lot more than before, right? So that's excellent. All right, now let's go with this guy here. This is the one. Ooh, borderline, I kid you not, borderline. Look at that. Borderline. All right, let's see. Oh, man. Oh, but you know what? Look, he's actually here. His whole wire harness is here. And you can see him. He's already coming in already. So he's got perfect slack as well. Let's see, make sure. I hope the terminal didn't rip off. Terminal rip off, I'd be so upset. I'm like, what? All that and the terminal ripped off? Come on, which way should I do? I'm trying to get him an angle where it's going to be neat, you know? I'll figure it out. But anyway, I'll get to the big one later. Alright, so anyway, he will go in like this. There we go, I fit him in. And you can see here, he still has some bounce, see? And you can see how much he protruded out. We did it. Now we don't have to worry about, oh man, that the wire's gonna fit right afterwards. Thank you. Now I know this is where it goes because it's not gonna go anymore. You can see this part right here. It hits it already. So it's not like it's gonna need to move forward more, backward more, or anything like that. And if it did, this looks like it has a good you can see all the slack here. See, this is the main one that didn't have slack before. Look how much slack is drooping down now. So I'm glad. And then the side ones, you can see there, it still has a lot of the blue wire slack and the ground wire. So we're ready to tie these guys down. And we didn't want it too tight anyway, because then it would put pressure on these guys here. So that was good that it wasn't too tight. So there we go. All right, so now what we gotta do is take this back off. We'll leave it on now because I don't want people to, you know, sit on it. But we'll come back and we're gonna get the right little C-clamps to actually complete the job. We're gonna get the, either we're gonna get some kind of U-ring or whatever it takes, but we're gonna make this happen. And then we're gonna be able to mount the cover and see where the strut bars need to come in play. So let's go ahead and tidy up, or I will. And I'll see you guys shortly again on perhaps the continuation of the video episode here. So yeah, so at least we got, well, you know what? Let's go for further. Let's get our battery on there and check if our connection's good. We're gonna hit the signal and everything. Let's do that. I wish we could just jump the wire, but you gotta do full wire. Okay, positive and negative, almost mix the two. Now, knowing me, I tucked, oh, dude. And knowing me, I tucked the wires out of our way, so I gotta bring it up now again. All right, let me fish these wires. Come on, fishy, fishy. Gotta drag them one by one. Same time, I guess we could do the tug test, huh? There should be 3 amigos for the positive, 3 amigos for the negative. One more positive. Okay, let's go and get our negative. And we're including a negative, including our ground wire, really. All right, let's go and sort of try to bound these guys together. I'll probably even do it this way. We're just trying to get it fitted. This will be fine. See if I can get the ground wire in there as well. Should have my Phillips ready. Okay. Go through here, through there, through the ground. There we go. And bolt. Got a few of the threads in there. And we just want to make sure our lights and our switches and everything are working. It's unfortunate because I don't have the Gibby hooked onto it, but that's fine. I think if the wire works on the little small, this one here, the Gibby should come in play as well. But we'll never know. We'll never know unless we hook it up. Oh, it's fine. It's not like it's gonna go far. It's not like we're in the cliff or anything like that, right? All right. Let's see, where are you? All the positive wires. You guys are the last call. The final call. Keep them on their side. All right, so here we go. Try to do this while holding the phone steady. Okay, let's go through the loops. We'll put them in the good order after we're for sure. Got the alarm's probably gonna chirp, which is not a good sign. Let me get that wire real quick. This is the starter motor wire, that's why it doesn't chirp, the bigger one. The high torque starter relay. So the one that's gonna make it chirp is the one we attach our fuse to. We know, we know. I just need to get a few more threads in there. There we go. You want to give it a good snug still, even though you're temporary testing it. Just don't want any intermittent spark connection issue. Okay, there we go. All right, let's turn this on. Lights are working. Rear lights are working. Okay, let's go and hit our brakes. You guys might be able to see it brighter. Yeah, look at that. See, it's brighter. You can see this guy brighter too. Watch. Yeah, see, there we go. Brakes are working. You guys can see it. I can't really. But there you go. Brakes, hit the brakes, turn off. Hit the brakes, turn off. Okay, right signal. Left signal, which I can see myself too. So everything's working. Perfect, beautiful. Very beautiful. That's it. This is working. Okay, right signal, turn. Again, the engine is not starting. I don't want to drain out the batteries too much. Oh, let's see where our battery level is at. 12 points. Oh, we're almost in borderline. We should fire up the scooter though. Should we do it? I don't see why not. What's stopping us, right? We just gotta get this guy off the exhaust though. But he'll vibrate. Okay. Alright, so let's go and turn this off. We don't want any more. Okay, so our wiring harness is good. Our connection is good. What's going to determine if it's finally good is when we go and tie strap it down. So, and we'll come back and we'll take care of all that tie strapping down. So that'll be our next phase, is trying to get this C-clamp on there. Put the struts. That's really the only thing that's holding us back, is really the struts. And then we'll work on the handlebar, move this a little bit grip. And we're ready to enjoy this bad boy. Alright, Michael for NCY Store. Hopefully you guys stay tuned. Check out the finished complete end of this build series. Zen and Scooter. Interceptor 150.